Greetings and welcome to Wizards of Fun. My name is Eric, and today I would like to share with you all a little tip that I've found to be very useful when a new Magic the Gathering set is coming out and just sort of want to do a flashcard review of a new set that's coming out that you're excited for. This is a tip that I've found to be really useful for myself, so I'd like to share it with you all today. So in order to kind of look at cards in a set at random in sort of a flashcard style, what I do is use the following link. Of course, you can find it down below. You'll notice a few things in it. So it's scryfall.com/random, and then a few other things, and then the name of the set. So you'll notice in this example, it is EoE. At the time of this recording, we're a few weeks away from the Edge of Eternities. The previews just started this morning. So I'm going to be reviewing these cards, whenever I have some downtime, maybe at work or in between baby naps, and I just kind of want to review some of the cards. This is how I would do it. So you'll want to change the last three letters to whatever the set is that you're wanting to look for. Final Fantasy would be FIN. March of the Machines would be MOM, for example. In this one, it's going to be Edge of Eternities. So I will just go ahead and go here. And okay, so as you can see, this pulled up a random card. We will actually look at and sort of review some of the cards, but I just want to go through this search engine. So as you can see here, so you'll notice a few things. So at the top here, it says this is one random card from 74 cards where the set is Edge of Eternity. So we got a creature card here, which is great. We'll actually look at some of the cards in a moment, but what's great with this is, after I'm done reading the card, all I have to do is simply click this repeat this random search button, and it pulls up a different card. We got another green, a black card, a blue card, etc., etc. Now, basically my thought process in doing this random flashcard review, as opposed to just looking at the whole blanket sheet, let's go to the sheet for a minute. I don't know about you guys, but for me, like in my brain, when I see line by line in color order all of these previewed cards, I find it to be kind of tiring. It almost feels like homework. I'm of course very excited for the set, but just to see them, especially when it's like the same colors and maybe like all of these lands side by side, I feel like the information doesn't stick as well in my head as if you just showed it to me randomly and I have to, like, based on the picture and the name, remember what the card does. So there's even a few cards I have not seen yet. So I'm excited to do this, but that's kind of where my thinking is. And this may not work for you and how your brain works, but for me, this is what I started doing just earlier this year. And I found it to be extremely useful. So, okay, Starfighter Pilot, I look at it, get a nice idea of what it does. Cool, next card. Of course, lands and stuff will pop up as well. But let's say, right now there's only 74 cards in total because the previews just started this morning, like I mentioned. But what about when it gets into the hundreds, right? Perhaps you're hitting this random search and you're getting the same cards, or you're not seeing the cards that you really want to see. So there's a way that you can actually take this further. So in this tab, of course, this will also be linked down below. You'll see at the end here that I add at the end of it the name of the set, the plus symbol, R, which is rarity, colon, and then the rarity that you're looking for. So let's say you're trying to get ready for a sealed event, or you're a limited player who plays a lot of draft and wants to really familiarize yourself with the commons and uncommons from the set. Maybe not the rares and the mythics, because you won't see those as much. So in this example, I will pull up all of the commons from the set that have been previewed so far. So here we go. Okay, so we got a black sorcery, and I do want to review these cards in just a moment. We will. But as you can see, there's 20 cards that are common in this set, so it filters out, a very large portion of it. So later on in the coming weeks, as the card pool grows to a few hundred, you can see how that could be useful. Like, I just want to review the uncommons, for example. So if I want to look at uncommons or just the rares or just the mythics, I'm sure you can guess how I do it, but I just replace common with the word, let's say, for example, uncommon. Okay, and there you are. Now we're looking at only the uncommons from the set. So what seems to be the trend when they do these previews is they show a lot of the mythics and the rares first. I think it makes sense. They want to build hype with the more powerful cards, the more exciting cards. So you can see there's 30 cards that are rare. So you can see how if you're trying to get ready for like a sealed event or a limited event, how looking at all the rares, although it's good to know what they are, it's probably not as beneficial to you because you're mostly going to be working with commons and uncommons when you play a drafted deck, right? So for me, like, I'm just frankly not even really interested in looking at these, at least not at the beginning. I want to be looking at, like, what are the common and uncommon removal spells I'm going to be looking at, bounce spells, interaction, reanimation, what sort of archetypes are there. So of course, yes, you do want to review all the rares and stuff as well, but this is just a great way to filter it out to the type of cards that you want to be looking at. So you guys already get the idea at this point. This is my tip. If you are looking to review cards for a new set that's coming out and you just kind of want to burn them into your brain, this is what I personally do. If you happen to have a better tip or maybe some more keywords that you personally use in Scryfall that I'm not aware of yet, I'm new to using Scryfall and using these sort of filters, so please let myself and anyone else watching this video know in the comments. And if it's something that I end up using in the future, I'd be happy to share it as well. Now, if you guys have a moment, I want to look at some of these new cards from Edge of Eternities because at the time of this recording, it's new. So maybe this is new to you. We can look at just a few of the cards and try to get a gauge of what the likely synergies are and what the set overall is doing. So let's have a look. Biotech Specialist. I don't remember. I have seen it, but it's red and a green. When he enters, you create a lander token, and whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage. Okay, so I can already tell kind of just from that card alone. So yeah, the lander token is a new one with Edge of Eternities, where essentially you can pay to sacrifice it, search your library for a land card, and it comes onto the battlefield tap. So this is a great way to get your landfall triggers. So I think it's clear if this is the gold signpost is what they call these cards, where it's the 2 colors. Red and green are looking to do landfall. As far as I can, that's one card that I'm just looking at, but it's probably a pretty safe bet of what it's trying to do. We'll look at another card here. 1 in a red, an enchantment, weapons manufacturing. I like the artwork on this one, looks pretty cool. Whenever a non-token artifact you control enters, non-token, create a colorless artifact token named munitions with whenever this token leaves the battlefield, it deals 2 damage. No, nice. So wait a minute. If you get this guy who is whenever a land comes in, you're pinging them for 2. And then this guy says whenever this token leaves, it deals 2. There's probably ways to sacrifice tokens for cheap, which would ping them for 2. And then this would also ping them for 2, so that's 4, triggering something else. So I can already tell just based on these 2 cards alone that, okay, there's likely a synergy with landfalls and artifacts coming in, probably sacrificing those artifacts. And I think I've also seen where like tapping artifacts is a thing. So probably artifact generation, sacrifice, is a big part of this set. Let's look at one more just for the fun of it. This one I have already read, but I'm gonna read it to you guys. And it took me a few times to really wrap my head around what this card does entirely, because it has a new mechanic called Warp. So it is, first and foremost, it's a dragon that is a 4/5 with flying and haste, meaning it can attack the turn that it comes in. When this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to target creature an opponent controls. So nothing too crazy there. However, it does have the new Warp effect. So 2 in a red says, you may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of the next end step. Then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. So this took me a moment to really wrap my head around, because I was thinking at first, oh, this warp cost does not say at sorcery speed, so I could play this on their turn, have it come in and block with it. And on second thought, that's probably not the case, because if this card doesn't have flash, you couldn't cast it at instant speed normally, right? So this being just a regular creature, it has some abilities, but it does not have the ability to come in at instant speed. So you're gonna have to cast it during your main phases. So forget about the blocking thing. That's where I got confused and I had to read it a few times, but this is how I think this plays out. On turn 3, you play it for 2 in a red. It comes in as a 4/5. It deals 1 damage to a target creature. Maybe on turn 3, that's actually relevant. I imagine in this set, again, with the artifacts and stuff we were looking at, it's probably not crazy to think that there are artifacts that are just 1/1 creatures that are used to help tap things and stuff. So this comes in, probably gets rid of a small little artifact creature if there's, then because it has haste, you can attack for 4. So you are probably almost guaranteed to get in for 4 damage. Then this leaves and it lives in exile for the rest of the game. And at another point, you can bring it back in and attack again. So I'm curious to see how this will synergize with other cards, other cards that say, hey, whenever you have warped something or something has left the battlefield, you can do this. I've seen that on some of the black removal cards. So yeah, I'd love to get even more and more, intricate with this. Like, I want to look specifically at cards that say void. Maybe you could do the EoE set at common rarity with void and then look at those cards. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I don't know how. Let me know in the comments if you happen to figure it out. Let's look at one more card and we'll wrap it up for this video today. We can look at more previews later on as this set is more and more revealed. I have not seen this card yet though. It is a common 3/3 called the Red Tiger Mechon. It is a robot cat, okay, for 3 in a red. It's a 3/3 with haste, again, so it can attack when it comes in, but it has that warp effect. So another warp card, 1 in a red. Oh, that's it. Okay. I don't know. This is going to be interesting to see. I'm very much looking forward to this set. So if you guys are also excited for this set, I plan to be doing some sort of previews on this channel. I've never really done it on this channel, so no promises. But if I do upload anything, I hope that you enjoy it. I'm definitely excited for this set. I'm really excited to draft this set. I really want to take my draft skills as far as possible, trying to win prizes on Arena, going to RCQ events in my local area, which is the region championship qualifiers, which I did for the first time recently, and I'd love to talk about it in another video if you'd love to hear about it. But anyways, guys, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful. And if you enjoyed this video or found this helpful, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and leaving a comment. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. This is Eric with Wizards of Fun, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.